Alright, the time has come. I don't typically make videos like this. I normally just do siren recordings. But I figured this is worthy of its own video. Recently, I discovered that the two sirens that were in Greene, Ohio, a Century 10V2T and a Sterling M, were removed about a year ago, which we knew, but I recently discovered that they were being put up for auction, and I decided to bid on the two sirens. Long and behold, $600 later, with a $90 online premium fee, which is stupid, but it is what it is, the two sirens, regretfully, are now mine. Now I say regretfully because these are going to be more work than any other siren I think I've ever restored or got running in my life. And you don't believe me that I own the two sirens from Greene, Ohio? Take a look. That's right. There they are. Man, this thing is so huge. It's all steel touch. There's my hand compared to the size of this thing. God, this thing is, look at the size. Well, I own a Sterling already. This is neat because this is an after 1928 Sterling. Somebody has put new bolts in here, but I'll go through all that in a minute. Just to give you a quick overview. Yep, they took an angle grinder and cut this thing right off the roof. This vent went missing around Google View around 2016, shows this vent went missing. If there's a weird orange color, the light up there is orange. Yeah, this horn got smashed when we laid it down. There's nothing we could do about it. Makes me sad, but I can fix it. Now, the top lid and vent or intake or chimney or whatever you want to call it, and the top lid of the Century, as well as these two horns here and there, have, this one goes on the bottom. This one goes right here on the bottom. But the two horns on the top here and the top dome and lid and intake have been missing as long as I've been alive, and that's 20 years. So this thing's been getting water straight down in it for 20 years. And then they had this thing laying the other way in the lot where they were selling it after they took it down, so it's been laying this way for about a year, and water's been dumping into that Sterling and down into here. Now, you can see different paint colors: red, yellow, and this kind of army green, which it is now. You can also see some primer in spots. If you look, you can see, like right here, you can see some white primer that they used amongst the different layers of paint that they put on this thing. Now, I've heard a lot of people say crusty sirens, rusty sirens, but talk about rough and crusty. These two sirens are the worst I think I've ever seen in my life. Now, the worst and most difficult part about both of these sirens is going to be what I'm about to show you. Take a look. Oh, here's this, by the way. This is the worst part of this whole $600 purchase. Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, that sucks. Okay, best 1 out of 2. Come on, get lucky this time. Oh no. Oh yeah. Both of these sirens are completely frozen tight. Not scraping, not bang it with a rubber mallet and get it to turn over, but it's really tight and crunchy. I mean, like locked up tight as a drum. Like you have to be completely dismantled with penetrating oil and a blowtorch and completely ripped apart down to the motor before they can even be spun over. So that really sucks. Now there was a preview. Now you're all gonna laugh at this. There was a preview date. I was at work. If we could have made it, I could have done this in person and realized that this was a bad choice. Now my original bid was only $10, and it stayed at $10 for about 6 or 7 days before it started bumping up, and then I finally got up to $600 and I got the damn things. So that's sad that I spent $600 on 2 froze up sirens, but what a nightmare. But these are really nice. Look at the positives. Motor cover's still there. Somebody's put new bolts on that. These are really nice. Somebody's put new bolts here. This Sterling's got like 2 little shelves, like little cutouts there. It's pretty cool, like to get your tool back in there. This appears to be the original screen wire, as thick and durable and high quality as it is. Now I plan in the next few weeks probably to take these 2 sirens off of this and have the 2 sirens and the stand sitting side by side here where you can work, because you can't. This is so big and unwieldy and massive that you just can't even work with it. You need the Sentry standing up and the Sterling laying down and the tower over there, so that way you can actually work on the damn thing. Now I want to point out something else that I never knew, never realized, never saw in pictures, nothing. Something that is completely like, what the F? And I'll tell you what it is. See this Sentry? It's 16.8. But look at the 8 port. Look at this. That's the chopper. Why is the chopper not blocking the entire slot? It's not covering the entire port. What the hell? Excuse me, what the heck is that about? Well, look at this. Wait a minute, this is the 16. See? 2 per horn. See that? 2 per horn. But wait a minute. This has 8 blades. Wait a minute. The 8 port chopper is up here in the 16 port stator. And they have the 16 port down here in the 8 port. Look. Somebody has gone and been in here redoing this siren once already and has accidentally flip-flopped the rotors, just like that one in New York. It's not a Sentry, it's a 3222, but you know, the one with the rare motor where they swap the rotors. Somebody has swapped these rotors out. What the F? This is what's left of the 2 horns that have been missing for years and years and years. You can see a little gap there. Here's what this side, the Sterling is 8/16 as well. This side is 8. I don't know if you can tell that. That's 8. And this side is 16. Now the rust in here, I'll show you this. The rust in here is unbelievable. Look at that rust. Look, I can stick my hand in here. Anybody want a pinch of rust? Look. There's the rust. And look, this thing, it's so rusty. Look. You just rub your finger across it, and the rust flakes off like salt, like sand, like beach sand. My God. I don't know what I've gotten myself into. There's good bones here, there really is. I mean, you got all the horns almost intact, and I could probably call Sentry up and say, hey, can you possibly, I would be willing to pay for it, supply me a new top intake vent, whatever you call it, a new top lid, and 2 replacement horns, 1, 2, to go here, 2 long horns, if they could make them or produce them in the narrow, or not the narrow, I mean the cutoff, not the angle but the flat. I wouldn't want to put 2 new angled ones on here because that would look like crap. But yeah, here it is in all of its glory. That Sentry may very well be single phase. Because if you look, I'm only seeing 2 wires coming out of that Sentry. Right there, and they're going up into the Sentry. Right there. The Sentry is starting to rust off of its mounting plate. I did notice that. Probably from them moving it and the weight of it jerking down on it's not helping the, 40-year-old welds, whatever. See, the welds are starting to break. Right here. Which ain't helping it any by having it all on the weight here. All the weight is not resting on that horn. All the weight is resting on these blocks of wood. So I plan on at least taking the 2 sirens off of the stand and setting the 2 sirens here so they can at least be dealt with. Now, as far as tags go, I know everybody's going to want, what about the tag? You didn't show the tag, the motor tag, the siren tags. Well, here's the tag on the Sentry, as good as I can get you a view right now. As you can see, everything is completely, it's been painted over twice, 3 times maybe even, and everything is completely gone. You can see a few numbers punched in it, but that's about it. And there's where the sticker used to be. This Sentry's pretty old. It's not the oldest because it's got the more standard looking intake, but it definitely is old. I don't know if these 2 sirens were purchased together. I know the fire station they were mounted on, the Green, Ohio City fire station's pretty, I shouldn't say new, but not the oldest building in the world, so I don't know if they've always been there or if they got relocated there at some point. But man, $690 later, these 2 frozen, rusty, crusty relics of our siren world are now mine. Laugh as you may that I've bought 2 dead sirens, but nothing is truly dead until it's dead, and I will pour my heart and soul into these 2 sirens in the next 10 years to get them, maybe even less, to get them operable, up and running. So to start, at least to remove them off the tower and set them by themselves, and at least try to get them unfrozen, whatever the reason may be. Oh, one more thing, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. In here, in the Sterling, in the Sentry, look at this. You can kind of see it right here in the light. Look, that's texture. Feel that? Or hear that? I mean, see that? I don't have my phone on me, or I would turn my phone flashlight on and show you. Maybe I do have a flashlight really quick, because I want everyone to get a chance to see this. There's flashlights laying around everywhere, but then when you actually need one, you can't find one. You know how that is, right? You know, you have flashlights everywhere, but then when you finally need one, they're always laying around getting lost or getting kicked around or put around, whatever. But when you finally need a light, You don't have one. Here, I don't have one. Right now, unfortunately, all I have is the outside lights, so I can't really show you. But yeah, there's massive divots in this stator. I mean, just look, you can hear the texture on my fingernail. And you can kind of see it, if I can get the camera to focus on it. You can kind of see it down in here too. Something's been in here. I suspect that this lid's been gone and it was ran without this lid on, and there was something in there that, so that could be a reason. So there's multiple reasons why these could be frozen up. A, there could be something wedged. I'm talking both the Sterling and the Sentry. There could be something wedged between the choppers and the stators. The stators could be corroded to the choppers a little bit with some gunk in between there. The bearings in both motors could be completely rusted and locked up tight and crunchy and turned into dust almost. Water could very well have gotten down in both of these motors. Probably not this one because the lid's on it, but water's definitely been blowing in because that vent's been missing on that side. But definitely water pouring in this Sentry. So the motors could be the armature and the windings and the bars in the motor could very well be solid rust. The motor armature could very well be completely rusted and fused to the outside of the motor. Most likely not. That's very uncommon that it would be that bad, but it definitely is a possibility that some of that could be. Or it could be a combination of all those reasons or some of those reasons. You don't know. I have no idea. There's some of you out there right now that are probably yelling at your computer screen, your phone screen. I know exactly why they're locked up. I know exactly why they're locked up. Well, then you can drop it in the comment section below, because I would love to hear your comments on what you think about this. Now please, I do not want any comments. Oh, $600 is way too much. You paid way too much and they're froze up and you wasted your money and now you have a pile of junk that you should scrap. You should scrap those. You should get rid of those, sell those. I would throw those away. You shouldn't have bought those, blah, blah, blah. Those should have went in the trash. If I get any cruel comments about scrapping them, they're junk, I spent too much money, any comments like that will be deleted and possibly reported if I feel like it. So please, I only want comments saying, wow, congratulations on your purchase. Nice Sirens. Glad you could try to save them. Or tips on how to get them unfroze. I pretty much know how to take these apart. My father, and he's got many friends. He knows, he's been tearing stuff apart. He's been working on race cars and equipment his whole life. Pumps and equipment his whole life. So he knows how to take stuff apart and put it back together. Well, there you have it, folks. The Sterling M816 and the Sentry 10V2T 816 with swapped choppers from Greene, Ohio, in all of their crusty yet beautiful glory. Hope you enjoyed this kind of oddball video. Now don't be scared off the channel because I'm making a video that's just me talking and walking. But yeah. One more thing, the Sterling appears to not have any tags on the outside. The tag might be under here on the motor. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't even see any mounting holes for a tag, so maybe they remade this at some point. Who knows? It all is galvanized, as you can see. So I don't know what's going on there. And I got you the best shot of the tag on the 10V2T that I could get you. I'll get some photographs of it during the day and post it on Discord, wherever. So